I'm like, bruh, if we're gonna make all these changes to it, you might as well add more length to the actual inseam itself. Why would we ever put a pocket in the outer shell? My ring just snagged against these.
Those are like my two.
And it pilled. And in addition to that, there are no pockets. There are no pockets. I feel like that's just a given. Hello friends, I have a new camera. I just had to put that out there into the universe because I haven't been on YouTube in so freaking long. I feel like I took a hiatus and I'm doing a little like comeback video or whatever, but it really has felt like a minute at least, and I've missed you guys so much. My camera broke. We're not gonna talk about her. We're not gonna talk about Gio and I sliding down sand dunes in Peru and me permanently damaging my camera by putting sand in there and then having the lens be all crackly for the next few years, and then just for it to crap out on me, for me to open up the freaking form factor and try to mess with it just to F it up, bring it to a freaking camera repair guy just for him to not be able to fix it, aka me being out of a camera for the next 2 weeks on top of us moving. So all that to say, I have a new camera, which is why I immediately was back with the quickness. I've only had this camera for 24 hours and we're already doing the damn thing. So anywho, I'm back. We all know why we're all here. It's for ONER ACTIVE's newest Lifting Champions collection, launching this Thursday, August 22nd at 11 a.m. Central Time. I will put the time conversions up here. Let's just jump right into the details. Alrighty, we already talked about the campaign name, the date that it's launching, all that jazz. Let's just jump right into the colorways that are coming out, as well as color comparisons. First and foremost, the color that I'm wearing right now is Racing Green. I will post color comparisons right here, as well as fabric comparisons for you guys to see. But as we can see, this color is most similar to, I would say, Pine Green as well as Evergreen. I have the first rendition of Evergreen, which has a little bit more of like a bluish marl to it, but one of the Discord girls sent over her Evergreens because she had the V1 and V2. V2 Evergreen has way less marling. It looks more like a true foresty evergreen type of color without the marl. So keep in mind that the ones that I'm posting is like the OG Evergreen with the marl. So it just looks a little bit different. Next up, we have Off-White coming back. This color first launched a couple months ago and she's here to stay. It is a true cream off-white colorway. Next up, we have black, followed by light gray marl and ash gray, both of which we have seen time and time again. I will also post color comparisons here for my previous videos for you guys to see too. Moving swiftly along to products that have already launched but are just coming out in new colors. First and foremost, we have the tops. So the Unified Micro Bralette is coming back, as well as the Everyday Crossover Bralette, which you guys know is one of my favorite ONER Active sports bras of all time. We also have the Timeless Halter Neck Mid Vest. This first came out during the 12 Days of Gains campaign last year, and literally 8 months later, it's finally coming back, which I'm so happy about because I actually really liked that top whenever it first launched. Moving on to bottoms, we have the Unified All-in-One, which is what I'm wearing right now. Unified Double Layer Shorts, which actually just launched in the Summer Brights collection, I believe. I did not receive that piece whenever it first launched. However, I have since then collected all the colors. I really like this short, you guys. A little spoiler alert, but of course I will do a full-on review whenever we actually get to that portion. Next up, the only bottoms that we have in terms of leggings are going to be the Effortless leggings as well as the Effortless shorts. No unified bottoms are launching this time around. It's just going to be Effortless. Last but not least, lounge pieces that have come out before. We have two Mellow soft tops, the mid-length short sleeve as well as the full-length short sleeve. So no long sleeve tops this time around. Soft classic bralette and thong, vintage wash baseball cap, as well as the lightweight crew socks. And again, these are pieces that have launched before. Let's jump into new pieces that are coming out. Starting off, we have the Unified Flare bottoms. This is, I believe, the first time. Yeah, the first time that ONER Active is coming out with a flare legging, not like a wide leg lounge pant. This is made in the Performance Unified fabric, which launched earlier this year. I believe it was January or so. It's a true smooth, slippery fabric that is very much sweat wicking, all the things, and it is matte, as we can see right back there. But we also have the cotton baby tees, which it's come out multiple times before, but it just has like a huge graphic over it now. Classic graphic oversized lightweight t-shirt, which has also come out before as well. So I don't know why it's in the new product section. Maybe it's just because it has a graphic on it. Meat and Bones is going to be the new lounge pieces. I will put up comparisons to Raw Lounge on the screen right here, just because it's like the most recent lounge that we've had. But these two lounge collections are actually very similar to one another. They have a little bit of a different fabric composition composition, which again, I'll put somewhere up here for you guys. But for the most part, they are both very lightweight, very much a summer lounge collection. However, as you can see in the side by side, the raw lounge pieces have more of a beach towel type of texture. It's still a little bit more brushed on the inside, but on the outside feels just a tad bit more rough. This new lightweight lounge, not only is it super brushed on the inside, it feels very like fuzzy and whatnot. It's still thin, but the outside is more of like a soft cotton type of feel, not as rough as raw lounge, although again, both of them are very thin fabrics. It's most suitable for the summer season and I guess like transitioning into fall as well. Basically anything but the winter season, right? Like I would not wear these lounge pieces during winter at all. I wore the lounge pieces to the gym pretty much like every day last week, and I really liked how they performed. We'll talk about the details here in a second, but yeah, that's like the general idea of what that fabric feels like. All that to say, pieces that are launching in this new lounge collection include the zip through hoodie, sweatshirt, joggers, as well as the oversized shorts. And last but not least, for accessories that are new, we have the cotton canvas bag, as well as the Varsity Crew 2-pack sock. That was pretty straightforward, right? We only have one new color launching, everything else we've seen before. This review will be majority montage style with me doing a little like voiceover clip to describe how they fit, feel, sizing, things of that nature, as I've done for the past couple of videos. But obviously for any new pieces that either have not been shown on my channel or just are new as a whole, I will do a little like talking head try on haul for you guys. So measurements are going to be somewhere on the screen over here, as well as my ONER Active sizing, both of which are also down in the description. And as per usual, if you guys are looking to shop this launch and want to support your girl, then I will leave my support link right down here. It's also in my description, my YouTube bio, as well as my Instagram bio and my stories leading up to the launch. And with that being said, I actually wanted to make a little announcement, if you may, and a little like life update, I guess. I already talked about this over on Instagram a couple weeks back, but I haven't said anything on YouTube yet. I'll put my little Instagram stories up here of me just kind of talking about this. But as of August 1st, I am working exclusively with ONER Active. This is a partnership that has been in the works for over 8 months now. It's been a minute. I've had so many conversations with the team, so many email back and forth, so many calls. This is just something that I am so excited for. Like, you guys have no idea. There's nothing for me to formally announce just yet, but I feel like if you know, you know. A lot of you guys have made guesses. A lot of y'all have actually been in my YouTube comments saying hypothetical crazy situations in which I was like, pause. Y'all kind of, you know, hit the nail on the head with this one, but there's nothing for me to confirm just yet. But I obviously wanted to tell you guys before there was even any, I guess, formal announcement to be made, because I felt like you, out of anybody, deserve to hear it from me first before you're guessing as to why I'm not doing reviews for other brands and things like that. I would just rather tell you immediately. But yes, as of August 1st, I am now only partnering with ONER Active. You guys clearly saw something in my reviews and the way that I deliver my content, and that showed the team that I was of value as well. So this partnership is truly all thanks to you guys, and I am so excited for this partnership, for the future, and I just can't wait to finally tell you guys about what this is, because yeah, I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. But I truly appreciate all of you guys' responses so far. I was getting so emotional with Gio because I just hoped that you guys were as excited for me as I was about this new partnership, and every single freaking person that has reached out to me, that has messaged me, texted me, called me, has been so excited for me, which just makes me so emo, because for you guys to support me through every aspect of that is very grounding, and none of this would be possible without you. So I will, of course, obviously continue to bring you the most honest, brutal, unfiltered reviews, as you'll already know, as you will see in this review as well. So I am actually gonna be in LA as well. The team invited me out to LA for their 4th birthday event. I'm so excited to meet you guys. Let me know down in the comments if you're coming to LA for the 4th birthday event, and if I'm gonna squeeze you, because I've already gotten so many DMs from girls that are going, and I'm just so excited. But anywho, I've done enough rambling about this specific topic, but I mean, it was needed, right? So let's actually get into the try on haul. Welcome to the montage portion of this. We're gonna start with older pieces first, but first and foremost, we have the unified crossback all-in-one. I'm wearing a size extra small in the racing green colorway. Now, there are changes and updates to how this fits versus how it fit whenever it first launched in the unified wrap capsule, and I'll go through those changes here in a sec. But in this little try on portion, I just want you guys to know note how it's fitting me like in the waist area and how the fabric is wrinkling a little bit. Yes, jumpsuits and one pieces are always gonna wrinkle regardless because whenever you're bending over and whatnot, obviously the fabric is gonna move with your body, right? But I feel like because this fabric is so smoothing, any type of movement is just gonna emphasize that much more. Also, because the front of this doesn't have any type of like seam to separate the top from the bottom, I feel like everything is just on display, if that makes any sense. Also, as we can see, the back doesn't really have any changes at all. It still has that double glute seam. However, I just feel like it could sit so much higher. This is still making my glutes sit really flat and really low to where it's not as flattering as it could be. Those are just a couple of things that I'm noticing where I'm like, I wish these would have been addressed or been updated, because there are updates to this as a whole, and we will get into that right now actually. So as you can see here, if I direct your attention to the left side of the screen, there is an update to the overall length of the front of the all-in-one if we measure from the center bust all the way down to the gusset. They did end up adding 1/4 of an inch to it. It is a little bit more long torso friendly now, but that actually confirms what I was saying about the wrinkling in the waist, because I was like, why is there so much more wrinkling, it seems, than it was before? And I'm like, dang, that little 1/4 inch made a hell of a difference, because I can definitely notice the wrinkling more. On the right hand side of the screen, I'm showing what it looks like from the back. So I measured from the center back all the way down to the top of the gusset, and they did add an additional 1/2 of an inch to the back. And what I noticed is that there's also more wrinkling in the back as well, and I'm wondering if that's also why it's sitting a little bit lower on the glutes for me too. If we move on to the next page, this is gonna be like flat lays and measurements of more specifically the glute seam. If we just look at the top left corner, you can actually visibly see the differences between racing green versus the previous minky color, where the glute seam is now sitting ever so slightly lower than the minky colorway, and it looks like the inseam length is longer on the shorts as well. However, it's not. It's just that they added additional length to the overall front and back, so it looks like it's longer. But as we can see on the right hand side, both leg inseams are still 4 3/4 inch. I'm like, bruh, if we're gonna make all these changes to it, you might as well add more length to the actual inseam itself. But alas, we do not have additional length in the inseam. It's just gonna be 4 3/4. Moving down to the bottom half of the screen, I measured the top of the glute seam all the way to the gusset, and there is a 1/4 of an inch difference, as well as the actual glute seam itself. This didn't really make that big of a difference in my opinion whenever I had it on. It was just more so the wrinkling of the fabric in the front and the back, like in the waist area, that I noticed a lot more, as well as like how the glute seam actually sits, because I feel like it sits a lot lower and it's a lot less flattering now versus before. So do with that information what you may. I feel like if you have a longer torso, again, you might like these changes, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments. But we are gonna move on now. Moving on, we have Effortless shorts, and once again, Effortless is the only performance bottom that's launching in this collection. I'm wearing racing green in a size extra small, and as you can see, I'm just messing around with the fabric here, just messing around with the waistband to show you guys exactly how stiff it is, because this fabric is definitely on the stiffer, thinner side. Honestly, I should just merge those two words together. But yeah, definitely on the stiffer, thinner side. It was very difficult to get on, but once I did have it on, it fit fine, right? Just like how normal Effortless fits me, but I can definitely feel the fabric not being as stretchy as I wanted it to. And as you can see there, wearing a black brief, it was around 85% squat proof, but with the new thong, 100% squat proof. And I would say that if you're in between sizes, definitely size up if in between, because it does fit on the stiffer side. And if you are not a shorts gal, we also have the Effortless leggings. And as you can see here, right off the bat, this waistband is just so much more forgiving, as well as the fabric. It's feeling so much softer than the Effortless shorts that I just tried on. I feel like the shorts, again, were more of like a stiff material, whereas this, it's just soft, stretchy, it bounces back nicely. There isn't like a big thwack, but it also still hugs you really well. So definitely prefer the fit of the leggings this time around versus the shorts. Moving on, we have the timeless halter neck mid vest. As you can see, I just tucked it up into a bra, and I'll show you guys how to do that later. But details about this, once again, it's already launched in the previous like 12 Days of Gains campaign, but it just has a scoop neck that isn't too low, good coverage on the sides. It is a true halter neck with an adjustable strap as well, and there's still that circular ring. So for a lot of you guys who are complaining about it being squeaky and whatnot, which I still experience, that is still there. I want to give feedback to the team to change that into like maybe an oval or something, so that way there's just no sliding around whatsoever. It obviously does come with a built-in shelf bra, removable cup pads, and there is a little bit more gaping in this now. There are a couple changes to the measurements of this top. top. And I actually talked to Chrissy about this, and she was like, maybe we should start making double extra smalls in a couple of the pieces. And I was like, yes, because there were a couple gals in my Discord community that have like a smaller chest. So they were saying that with these new changes and updates, there's just no way that they'd be able to wear a size extra small now. I mean, I'm just always a fan of being even more size inclusive. So I definitely want to work with Chrissy to introduce even more sizes in tops, such as this one, where for a lot of gals with more narrow chests, the chances of gaping in these wider neck tops are so high. And I'm constantly gaping in tops such as this, where they do have like wider necks or square necks. Little updates to this, right? So for the most part, it seems like there's only a 1/4 of an inch added to the bust height, the sides, the bottom of the top as well. But once you actually get to the width of the bust area, as you can see at that very last like bottom right corner, I folded the top in half and I just measured it from the armpit to the center bust area. And there is 1/2 of an inch added to the bust. And so for one, it fits more comfortably, but two, that also explains the gaping just because there's more fabric as a whole. I will say that before with this like mulled wine colorway, I could only wear it for a very like certain amount of time, aka just the workout. But once I was done, I had to take it off because it was just way too compressive. Now this fits way more comfortably, but I am gaping. So yeah, just something to note. I would say that if you are in between sizes and you typically gape in wider neck bras, tops, and things like that, then definitely size down and you'll be just fine because this fabric is still like super stretchy. Moving on to one of my favorite ONER bras of all time, we have the Unified Micro Bralette. I was actually like pretty indifferent about this because I feel like that center seam could just be removed, you know what I'm saying? But the functionality of this bra, while being so flattering, is what sells me every single time. I think I have almost every single color that's released in this bra. I really, really like it. It's definitely low compression, like not meant for plyometrics, running and things like that, but it's just so flattering, so comfortable, and I just love the back detail as well. It's very open, very breathable while being comfortable too. And the straps are still in the unified fabric all the way up until like your upper back, so it's not abrasive in the traps at all. Love this bra. Next up, we have Mellow Soft. So they are launching in 2 short sleeves like I mentioned before, in the mid version, which is what I'm wearing right now, and I did pair it with the unified double layer shorts. As you can see, there's a little bit of a color difference between Mellow Soft and the unified shorts. As I've mentioned before, different dyes affect different fabrics accordingly, so I feel like Racing Green for Mellow Soft is a lot brighter comparatively to the unified shorts. However, they make like the cutest freaking combo. Mellow Soft is definitely a need. I would say you could easily size down if in between. Now, same thing here, except for we have the full length version, and I just wanted to pair it with the unified shorts just to show you guys what that looks like. But right off the bat, in this off-white colorway, y'all, the bra was definitely peeking through. I typically wear cool brown timeless strappy bralettes underneath all of my Mellow Soft tops. I just wear this bra as like a normal bra, but even then you could still see it through. So I'm like, dang, I don't know what to wear it with because this is like showing pretty obviously. But I also wanted to pair this with some loose shorts to show you guys what it looks like, because I feel like I typically wear the full length Mellow Soft tops underneath shorts like this. Alrighty, Cotton Icon baby tees. I have Racer Green and Off-White, both in extra small. I've already talked about the shrinkage in these pieces, so I'm not gonna, spend too long talking about them, but now I just wash on cold and then hang to dry, and I feel like the shrinkage is pretty minimal, but these pieces are 100% cotton, so shrinkage is expected whenever you're putting it in the washer and dryer and whatnot. I'm wearing my cool brown bra underneath this again, and you can see it a little bit as well as the tag, but these tops have actually grown on me, which is kind of crazy because I did not really like them at first, but now I'm like, okay, she's cute. I've worn them to the gym as well, and I like them. And last but not least, we have the classic lightweight graphic tees. And guys, I picked an extra small this time. I feel like every single time I try these on, I'm always wearing a large, and you guys are like, bro, can you just wear a size extra small? So I picked a size extra small, and I actually like how it fits. I still would probably choose like a medium or something, but it does fit oversized to begin with. So yeah, this is how that looks like, but this is just your classic ONER t-shirt, nothing new. Hello, welcome to the little talking head portion of this review. Now reviewing the new pieces that haven't, obviously been released before. Unified double layer shorts in Racing Green, size extra small. Like I've told you guys before, I did try on a size small, and I'll just go ahead and post about the comparisons and talk about sizing right here for you guys. I honestly could go between a size small or extra small. Whenever these first launched in the Summer Brights collection, we were all told to just go with our typical unified sizing. However, whenever whenever I picked my usual sizing, which is a size small, I felt like these shorts were just, you know, super comfortable, right? It wasn't like it was cinching in at the waist. It still wasn't sliding down. It felt nice, but it definitely felt a little bit more comfortable than, let's say, my unified high-waisted shorts or the unified wrap shorts. It felt a little bit looser than that, and I just figured that was normal because looser shorts fit a little bit looser anyway. They're just meant to be more comfortable as a whole. However, wearing a size extra small now, and as you guys can see in those measurements and comparisons, the unified high-waisted shorts waistband is the same length as the extra small unified double layer shorts. So my theory was correct. The unified double layer shorts in like a size small is a little bit bigger than the leggings version of that, if that makes any sense. Overall though, I can wear both sizes, and I still plan on wearing both sizes. A size extra small just holds me in a little bit better in the waist without cinching in. Like as we can see right here, there's no cinching, there's no digging whatsoever. The little like outer shell portion flares out less than it does in a size small, which I like, because the thing with these kind of like windbreakery type of outer shell fabric shorts is that it doesn't really drape on you well and kind of like sit flush on your skin. Sometimes it can flare out really wide and look like a trash bag, at least on me, and it just makes my legs look like really small and lanky. So I feel like an extra small, aka just like a size down, really helps with like the flare situation. It doesn't look like it's flared out as much, and I feel a little bit more held in overall. There's no digging in my thighs whatsoever. They did ride up a bunch though. I'm just gonna like do a couple leg raises to show you guys, but as you can see, still rides up. However, the small did as well. Even though these shorts do ride up, the waistband stayed put. I did not have to adjust it at all throughout my workouts, throughout like my walks, things like that. So I really like it as a functional short, and I really could go either way with sizing. If you truly prefer for your looser shorts to be a loose, comfortable fit, go with your usual unified sizing. However, if you want it to just be a little bit more held in without cinching, you could easily size down and you'll be just fine. But let's just dive into the details of this short, right? It still has the triple lined waistband. I could still feel the mesh insert on the inside, just a little bit of stretch to it, but like I said, fits really, really nicely. This fabric right here is going to be your typical unified fabric, whereas again, the outer shell is gonna be more of a like windbreakery fabric. Still pretty billowy and soft, but it doesn't really have too much stretch to it at all. It does have pockets on both sides with zippers, and at first I was so confused about this because I was like, why would we ever put a pocket in the outer shell? I feel like anything would just kind of like weigh it down, and the pocket itself isn't like really big either. It just kind of goes halfway down the short, and then this entire portion right here is no pocket. A card does fit in there, so you really could only fit a credit card, a set of keys, like 1 or 2 keys, and that's pretty much it. A hair tie, I don't know, but otherwise you can't really fit too much in here at all. But if we turn to the back, then we have the tonal silicone raised logo. There aren't any contour seams down here at all. The inner short lining is made of unified fabric. There's no front seam, and then the back just has a glute seam to separate the cheeks. I wear these all the freaking time. Ever since they came out with these shorts in the Summer Brights collection, I got all 4 colors. It's not meant to be a running short. I don't really know what a hybrid functional training short looks like. I'll just have to do more research about that, but we were told that this wasn't meant to be a running short. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess if we just want to wear a pair of shorts that don't cling onto our skin only, and that they have an outer shell for whatever reason, then, you know, we have that as an option. But I do really like them. I wear them to work out all the time, and they're super, super comfortable. Out of all the bottoms, honestly, I was asked this during my live as well, but if I had to pick one performance bottom to snag, what would it be? I said the unified double layer shorts over Effortless. Isn't that crazy? So next up, a piece that I feel has taken the world by storm is the freaking unified wrap bottoms in a size small, regular length. We will get into the sizing and stuff like that in a sec. I'm wearing this in ash gray, and right off the bat, I'm just gonna show you guys the differences because I kind of figured that this was just gonna be the longer and flared version of the unified wrap bottoms, but that's actually not the case. This in a size small fits bigger and roomier than the small unified wrap shorts, the waistband is roughly 3/4 of an inch bigger than a size small for the unified wrap shorts and whatnot. The rise is actually longer as well. So as a result of that, it does fit a little bit differently than what you might have been used to in the unified wrap leggings and shorts. If you're in between sizes, I would definitely recommend to size down in this from your usual unified size. I could probably do an extra small in this, and I feel like it would fit me so much better. Whereas in the unified wrap shorts, I could not size down to an extra small. Like, it was just so constricting on my waist, on my thighs. This in the waist, it's very, very stretchy to the point where it's almost a little bit loose. It still has the same features as the unified wrap shorts do, in the sense that it has that wrap design, sits right at the smallest point of my waist, but I would still consider this to be in between like a mid to high rise, because my belly button is like on the verge of showing, if not already. And if we turn to the back, then you just have the signature unified double glute seam detail, silicone raised logo right there, top and center. So everything design wise is still the same. This is a very pronounced flare. I feel like this is a hybrid between a flare and a wide leg trouser, because typically with flares, the flare starts like below your calf, I feel. Whereas for this, clearly there's fabric bunching right here where my knee is, and the flare definitely starts from above my knee, which is why I'm saying that it's kind of like a hybrid. Also, this friggin' leg opening is so wide, you guys. So if you have larger calves, I promise you, you will be able to fit into these, because geez, that is such a wide leg opening. I love it though, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of it. It's just that my only qualm about this, I mean, there's two things. One, it is way too freaking long. Do y'all see this? I measured and it's 33 3/4 inseam. That is so long for what I feel is like the typical regular length flare or wide leg bottom. The regular for other brands that I've seen is typically around like the 31-inch inseam, but this is 33 3/4. I'm like edging towards the tall option, because tall options that I've seen before are like typically 34 inches. So this is definitely tall girl friendly, but for my short girls, this is not gonna be it, unfortunately. Like, even for the short length, let's just say the short length is like a 31-inch inseam. I feel like for girls that are shorter, for one, or have shorter legs as a whole, that's just not gonna fit, right? Like, I'm 5'2", and my leg inseam length is 31 inches, which is already longer for my height. But typically girls that are my height have a leg inseam of like 28 to 29. So even if you got the short length, I feel like it just wouldn't work on you. So yeah, I felt like this for the raw lounge trousers. I feel like this now, but this is so long that even with like sneakers, if I were to go up an inch or so, I'm still dragging. Like, I would have to be all the way up on my tippy toes wearing stilettos in order for it to properly touch the floor. Secondly, I feel like for some reason, and you guys actually always make comments about this where you're like, how do you not get CT? How do you not? Everybody's anatomy is different, and most of Honor's bottoms do not give me CT. However, for these, I don't know what it is, but there's so much bunching around my crotch for some reason, and I feel like I am getting mild CT. So I don't know what it is, but it's just not sitting the way that like I would want them to. I just feel like my crotch is very much accentuated in these, but I just caught myself having to like adjust these and pull these down all the time, and then like pull this back up, but then there's just like weird bunching of the fabric there. Maybe a size down would help with this, because there's just so much extra fabric in this size, which again is measuring to be bigger than my small unified wrap leggings and shorts. Those are like my two biggest things about these that I don't like. Also, I don't know if you guys saw that, but my ring just snagged against these.
Those are like my two.
And it pilled. I'm glad that we're catching this on camera so you guys can see, because a lot of you guys were asking me about whether unified pilled or not, and I always said that it did. Even though it's a performance fabric, it is on the delicate side. Not me doing this on purpose like a crackhead, but yeah, there's still a couple more snags there whenever I just did that twice with my ring. Do with that information what you may. I typically am very like careful whenever I'm at the gym and whatnot. I mean, I don't wear my ring for one, but two, I'm not sliding my butt against turf. I'm always mindful of like not rubbing up dumbbells against my legs, barbells against my leg, or just any of the pieces that I'm wearing at all. So if you're wanting a fabric that you just don't have to think about at all, where even if you rub up against it, it'll be fine, this isn't gonna be one of those fabrics, because as you guys just saw, it definitely snagged. So yeah, this was a very lengthy review for this, but I really hope that this helps. Once again, whatever size you are in unified, I would say to size down from that, and it'll fit similarly to how your regular unified leggings and shorts fit, because this runs a little bit big versus the leggings and shorts version of it. And then in terms of height, very strongly recommend measuring your inseam length. It's just gonna be the distance from the inside of your crotch all the way down to the floor. Doing so will help you understand what legging length to choose and what like flare length to choose. Choose a flare or wide leg pant length that is 1 to 2 inches longer than your leg length to account for platform shoes. I really hope that helps. Now we are moving on to some new lounge, you guys. So this fabric has never been released before. Like I mentioned to you guys earlier, completely new, but feels very similar to the Raw Lounge pieces. I feel like the Raw Lounge was giving more of like a beachy look with the raw hems and just like the fabric of the pieces being a little bit more on the rougher side as well. I think it was also marketed as a loungewear collection that you could really get like down and dirty in. Whereas this, although it is very similar in its thinness, the inside of this fabric feels a lot more fuzzy. Like I feel as if fuzzies are flying out of this. Yeah, you could see some right there. But the outer portion of this is more so on the lightweight cotton side. It doesn't feel nearly as rough, but I would still once again classify these pieces as a summer lounge collection. Anywho, we are wearing the lightweight sweatshirt in light gray marl with the wording being in racing green. It says the same thing, right? It says Lifting Champions Honor Strength Training Community, and that's pretty much it for the graphics. I'm wearing a size medium. I typically size up in my lounge pieces because again, I like for my stuff to be oversized, and I will say this is real oversized. Dude, this with the freaking unified flare bottoms would be so cute for this like collegiate back to school type of look. So I really love me an oversized lounge piece, and I feel like finally this is an oversized piece that is actually proportionate. For example, the Raw Lounge zip up hoodie, it was on the shorter side, so it hit kind of like at my waistline. But if I were to size up, it would get a little bit longer, but it would be exponentially wider. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I feel like this, not only is it wide, it's also proportionately as long, but this is truly an oversized fit. I was not expecting for it to be this big whenever I ordered a size medium. So if you don't like the way that this fits on me, then just stick true to your usual size. And I feel like it'll be pretty oversized to begin with. I could have probably went for a size small and it would have still been oversized, but I will say I do love me this loungy type of like laid back baggy look. Last lounge top that I have is going to be the lightweight lounge zip up hoodie in racing green size small. I purposely got this size as well because I wanted to compare this against the Raw Lounge zip up hoodie, and for the most part the measurements and whatnot were pretty similar. The only differences really were in the length. So this new lightweight lounge zip up hoodie is a little bit longer than the Raw Lounge one, and then the sleeves are a little bit shorter than the Raw Lounge one. The sleeves don't even cover my fingers and whatnot. I would have preferred for this to be a little bit longer, but it's still enough for you to like kind of cuff if you really wanted to keep you warm. But overall, hood was still the same. The dropped sleeve length was still the same, as well as the zippers. But here she is. It's giving PE. It's literally giving PE class. This also only has 2 pockets. There is no internal like hidden pocket or anything like that, so just keep that in mind. Closer up, we have the ONER Active written out logo in white. This does not look like off-white. I feel like this is definitely, am I tripping? Because I feel like this is not the same color. This is off-white right here. I might be tripping. This is gonna be the only logoing that we're gonna see in this jacket. There's nothing in the back. Very simple like that. And the hood is actually massive, which we also love. We do not like a little condom hood. Again, I don't really care for jackets that are kind of like waist length. I wanna be swimming and almost drowning in my jackets. I ideally would have sized up to like a medium or even a large, but because of the proportions of this, I feel like sizing up would make this exponentially wider, not necessarily a lot longer like how the sweatshirt looked. Sizing for any lounge is just pretty much what your preference is. For this jacket, if you like how this fits, then stick true to size, but if not, you could easily size up or down a couple sizes to accommodate how you want the jacket to fit. Home stretch, you guys. Let's get into these freaking lounge bottoms. So I'm wearing the lightweight lounge graphic shorts in the color racing green in a size extra small. I have a lot of opinions about these. Right off the bat, I'm just gonna put up measurements and comparisons for this versus Raw Lounge. For the most part, the measurements were actually pretty similar in the body and whatnot. This has a very thin drawstring. There's not a lot of real estate to it at all, and in addition to that, there are no pockets. There are no pockets. What, like, this is so strange to me because I'm like, why would we not include pockets in our lounge bottoms? I feel like that's just a given. We should just have that in drawstrings at all freaking times. I get that it's the style, but these just aren't functional to me. You know, I think that's the biggest problem, is that because these have no drawstrings or pockets, it immediately makes it not functional. Like, it serves as a great lounge short, but I feel like Honor has so many other great lounge short options that these just like, they're whatever to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not obsessed with them. I don't really care for them at all. They are comfortable because, again, they're super lightweight and whatnot, and I feel like I can get a lot of use out of it for whenever I just want to layer a short over my unified wrap shorts, which I have been doing. I'll post a picture up here, but otherwise these aren't really functional to me at all. If we bend over, my entire cheek is on display. I can feel it. Like my entire booty cheek is showing. Not my favorite, but it is comfortable. So yeah, these fit me high-waisted. I know that they market this as a low-waisted type of short, which the joggers definitely are, but these to me, I mean, they sit naturally at the smallest point of my waist. And I also did a washer dryer test for you guys as well. The wash instructions for pretty much all of ONER ACTIVE's lounge says to not put it in the dryer. I, as you guys know, do it anyway to test it and show you guys if it does shrink, because I know that majority of us do put our lounge pieces in the dryer, and they did shrink. So keep that in mind. Last but not least, we have the lightweight lounge joggers in a size extra small, regular length. Also in the off-white color, and I figured I would just do like a little off-white on off-white moment. I actually wore this yesterday with the baby tee, and it was the cutest freaking outfit. This is essentially the shorts, but in longer jogger form. It's honestly giving sweat though, because it's a little bit baggier, I feel, than recent joggers that ONER ACTIVE has released. I do like styles like this more because I'm not typically a jogger gal. Like, I'm typically a big oversized sweat gal, like bury me in my sweats type thing. So I like the overall like concept, but again, there's no drawstring or anything at all. The band is super wide, super stretchy, which is nice because it's very forgiving, but I just would have preferred having the option of a drawstring. Like I mentioned earlier, this range is marketed to sit low rise, and it can sit here, but even if I were to pull it up to sit high rise, it's still gonna sit on my hips perfectly fine, and there's no tightness around the crotch whenever I pull it up either, so you could easily have them sit mid to high rise and it'll be just fine. And again, there are no pockets on the side either. This is truly like a slip-on type of jogger. Does have a cuff at the bottom right there. This did shrink. The length shrank pretty significantly. The waistband shrank by just a little bit, but surprisingly, the body stayed the exact same. So I'll insert a little like clip over this showing you guys what my racing green pair looks like now on me. It's fine, but would I spend like $50 on this? Definitely not. As for sizing though, like I mentioned earlier with lounge, it just kind of depends on how you like for your lounge to fit. I could go up to a size small if I really wanted to for the extra bagginess, but if you like how this fits specifically, then you could easily stick to your normal size and you'll be just fine. Lastly, just wanted to talk through some of the accessories that are launching in this collection. But first and foremost, we have the soft classic bralette and thong coming back. They're only launching in racing green, no other colors, but this has launched before, so I'll post like the link to my review for it somewhere up here for an update as to whether I've worn these since receiving them. I have not. I don't typically lounge around in bralettes. I just wear my oversized lightweight t-shirts without a bra and call it a day. Also, because these have no padding, it's not like I can wear them out anyway, because I personally do not like to nip whenever I'm out. I would rather just wear a bra with padding. I haven't really gotten any use out of this since receiving it. However, it is soft, it is comfortable, just wanting to give you guys my honest opinions. Same thing about the thong. There are so many like harsh seams on this. And also because the silhouette capsule has launched since this has first come out, I just gravitate towards those pieces a lot more because they're designed to be worn under like your day-to-day clothes. So that's my 2 cents on the classic bralette and thong. Moving on, we have this little vintage dad cap. I haven't worn caps in a long time, but I do think this color is so freaking cute. I love me like any sort of washed color. This is obviously too big for my head, so I look like a little boy right now, but you know, you get the gist, okay? We also have a 2-pack of socks launching. So this is in light gray marl, this is in off-white, and they both have like the racing green banding across it that just says Honor. I love wearing Honor's socks. They're just super plush, very thick and soft, and they've held up well ever since I got my first pair, which was like way last year. Last but not least, we have the cotton canvas tote bag. This is very much a big tote bag. Actually, let me just like set my camera up so I can stand and talk about this. But yeah, very big tote bag. It's very wide as well. There are 2 strap options, so obviously I'm wearing the longer strap. I really wish it came with like an adjuster. I don't know why it wouldn't come with one, because I would probably wear it like this because I would have more access to reaching the bottom of the bag versus this where my hand wouldn't be able to reach all the way to the bottom if I had to reach something from down there, if you know what I mean. Otherwise, they do have these 2 shorter straps. Neither the front or the back have any pockets, but this front ONER bit does have a little loop through it. I don't know what that's for, but if you guys have an inkling, then, you know, let me know in the comments. It just has this metal closure right here. And then on the inside, all you have is this wide pocket, as well as a little sleeve to hold your water bottles. That's it. There are no other features of this bag. It can fit a lot of stuff in here. Like, she is wide, you know what I'm saying? So if you guys are in the market for a tote bag like this, that's like a little bit more casual, then ONER now has one. All right, guys, that is it for this video. I really hope that you found it helpful and that it helped narrow down your choices just a little bit, because from what I've been seeing on socials, from my Discord and all my comments, y'all are going crazy. I mean, obviously for Racer Green, but I feel like there's just so many things launching in this collection in that color specifically that y'all are just going bonkers over it. So again, hope that I helped narrow down your choices so we can make mindful decisions. And do not forget that we still have the birthday event, we still have Black Friday and all the things. So save your money when you can. You do not need every single little thing, but if you do decide to treat yourself to something, then on August 22nd is when this collection launches, and my support link is right down here should you choose to support me for this launch. Thank you guys so much in advance if you choose to do so, and I just can't wait to squeeze the crap out of you guys in LA and hang out with y'all. With that being said, thank you for spending this time with me. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment if you have any questions. Follow me over on Instagram at TracyBFit, and I'll do a Q&A as soon as this video goes up, because I know it's gonna go up at least on Tuesday night or Wednesday morning or something. But until then, I'll talk to y'all later. So bye.